I'll jump to another topic, Secretary, and this is on the Innovation Fund. No? From 2020 until 2025, the Innovation Fund received, well, not received, but the target amount is 6 billion pesos. The allotment that it received was only 300 million pesos. No? Far cry from the target amount of 6 billion pesos. For 2026, it will receive an additional of 143 million pesos. No? 100 million for Innovation Fund and then 43 million for the Secretariat. Can you give us an update on what are the accomplishments of the Innovation Fund? The Innovation Fund is geared towards promoting a culture of innovation, starting with MSMEs that will help us address issues in poverty, basic issues of the country. So, can you give us an update on how the Innovation Fund is faring and how are we in terms of implementing the Philippine Innovation Law?
First, the innovation agenda document was published about 2 years ago, a year ago, in 2023, Mr. Chair, and that has guided the prioritization of the Innovation Council in terms of the sectors and sectors to prioritize. No? The council has, given the limited resources, has focused on doing some studies, trying to understand the constraints that that hinder the development of a culture of innovation in our country, and that study is almost completed. No? We have then we are administering the innovation grants. That's about 100 million a year, no? About 100 million of innovation grants. We have already 2 years of implementation. There were and we highlighted this grants during the Innovation Month. Or week, we have innovation. We have an innovation day and that next innovation day is in November. November, when we'll give our first award of and then we also announced, Mr. Kirby, the Innovation Awards, which is a competitive a competition for most innovative products that fall into the priorities of the council. And the first set of awards will be given in November. Then, what else? But what we would, Mr. Chair, I think one of the limitations of our programs to develop a culture of innovation and expand its reach to a bigger audience is when Congress passes a support fund for innovation like this 100 million pesos for the innovation grant. There is a limit to public sector only, when in fact we know that a lot of those innovations are coming from the private sector. And so we limit the potential benefits of the program by constraining the participation of the private sector, or people outside government to participate in the activities, particularly in the awarding of grants by the council. We can provide a much more detailed elaboration. In fact, we just submitted to Congress our report. I think this week, because we are required to provide an annual report, Mr. Chair. So it must be coming to your way already. That report and the.
Mga basics lang, Secretary. Like how many grantees have we? How many grantees do we have? And then what are the notable achievements from the grantees? A big part of the fund is to give grants, no, to different entities. Some of them conducting research. I think most of them conducting research, if I'm not mistaken. No? But what are any outputs that any notable outputs that these entities have given? Well, what I'm trying to drive at, Secretary, is meron kasing may napansin rin ako sa gobyerno yung culture of compliance. Basta lang ma-comply, bigay lang ng bigay, no? So we're trying to, hopefully we can reverse that by not just plainly complying but really studying whether the compliance will yield to outputs or outcomes, no? So yun yung, I see this across different agencies, and maraming nasasayang na pera because just to comply, no, just give amounts, no. So I want to understand how many grantees have we already given grants, and then what are the notable achievements that these grantees have given to the department.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Yusek Ross to provide. Our office coordinates the work on the innovation.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. So, since the first innovation grant, there have been 57 grantees. In fact, for next year, we are also conducting an evaluation of the very first grantees. So yung mga first grantees natin, the notable ones are first yung sa Buhawi, finalization of the Buhawi design. This is an unmanned weapon system ng sa DN dito. Tapos another I think many actually have to do with innovation hubs, innovation facilities. And some of them actually already has the facility, meron lang silang kailangan na dagdag or refurbishment. There was also a project that I personally liked. Yun. Now this one was really for mini hydro plants in this was in Jeddah areas. May mini hydro na doon, pero what the innovation grant funded was the placing of yung sensors that would receive that would emit signals just to determine if the gears are still working okay, kasi this is in the Jeddah area, and then the one maintaining it is in the city of Davao, masyadong malayo. But the thing is, if they are able to monitor regularly how the gears are working, medyo ma-anticipate nila when they should schedule a visit. So, yung sa Naga, there's also an innovation hub. Tapos, actually, iba yung sa studies yung, because the NEDA, formerly NEDA, we have an R&D fund, and some of this R&D fund, we also allocated for studies to improve yung innovation ecosystem natin. So, for this round of innovation grantees, meron pa rin on the defense system. Tapos meron din yung para sa textile industry, where this one is linked to having a community IP. So trying to codify yung kanilang design. Yeah, actually we furnish you, Mr. Chair, a copy of all this. Tapos, by the way, we are also conducting 8 policy studies. One of the first studies we did was to look at the barriers. It's a scoping study looking at the barriers to innovation, to the promotion of innovation. And then, ang isa nga na nakita doon is the very lengthy and complicated process ng business registration, renewal, and also the business exit. So, actually, finalization stage na yung study. Some of the recommendations have to do with actually my legislation done, and we will be coordinating, of course, with your office regarding this. This will be presented to the president itong November. And then, as mentioned, meron nga yung in terms of promotion of innovation, we do this every time we hold the National Innovation Day. And then we have what we call the HABI. It's a design thinking workshop. HABI is huddle, analyze, build, and then innovate. So we invite almost 1,000 students to participate in this design thinking workshop. We actually invite several mentors, mga startups, and they're very happy to help. At the same time, nagkakaroon sila na expand ng kanilang network. And then for this year, it's the launching of it's the first Philippine Innovation Awards. Na ito, yung mga nandun na sa pre-commercialization stage of innovation, and we just want them to have a platform, more visibility, and then in fact included in their award is for mentoring, and then participation in an international exhibit or an international event para mas makilala sila. The awarding will be this November 6th, Mr. Chair.
Yusek, meron bang out of all these grantees, the 57 grantees, have they yielded to any commercialization of their research or their projects? The end goal is to commercialize all of this, diba? To come up with some income stream, or else it's if it's just research and testing, then it's just para lang siyang high school project or college project. It has to yield to commercialization. Meron na ba tayong malapit na project na ganyan na it will already come to commercial phase?
Actually, Mr. Chair, ang pinakamalapit, although it's still not really commercial in the true sense of the word, kasi ang market is government, kasi it's in the defense sector. So, if it's a new tech kasi, we actually select those in TRL 5 or 6. Ibig sabihin, tapos na rin na yung prototype nila. And it's just that, they needed that, additional, resources to be able to do their market, studies, yung mga piloting kanila. We also have, several from, the UP College of Medicine. So, meron silang mga ano din yung sa newborn, ito, yung Barako ng Batangas. This one actually uses, AI, para madali yung traceability ng, this is actually, livestock that is being transported from the farm to the market. Kaso nagkakaroon sila ng problema with respect to, of course, may mga diseases surveillance dapat, and then meron din in terms of monitoring also yung survival nila while in transit. So isa to sa